Welcome to Podtendo's Twilight Princess Retrospective. In this 5-part series, we will explore the dark themes, the new control mechanics, and the interesting new assortment of characters as we journey through this game. It has been a long journey. There have been obstacles, puzzles, and challenges. And there is no time to rest now, so equip your master sword, ready your bow, and gauntlet those beefy forearms as we get ready to explore Twilight Princess.
What's wrong? You've met a terrible fate, haven't you?
Hey guys, welcome to the Podtendo Podcast's Legend of Zelda Retrospective for the Twilight Princess. So, harkening back to a couple years ago when we went through Ocarina of Time, we kind of gave that a big treatment. We looked at Majora's Mask, Wind Waker a couple years ago. We kind of dove through, and I tried to convince everyone it was a great game. It's not just a beautiful experience on a whatever gen of console that is. It was a good experience. So we're going to do the same thing with Twilight Princess this year. So over the next every 4 weeks, you'll be seeing one of our shows drop. I am Mick. I'm joined by
Tyson.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Yes, good to be here.
Cool, sweet. So, so like I mentioned off the top, Twilight Princess Retrospective. So, big one. Excited for this one. Been looking forward to it for a while. I feel like it's been on the docket for a bit. Like, it's kind of just been, ever since Ocarina, this has been in the framework of like, well, at some point we have to do this for Twilight Princess, right? So it's just kind of always seemed inevitable.
Yeah, it's definitely been one of those ones where like I've been excited to get to for a while. So,
well, okay, because we do a Zelda game-ish a year. Like next year, in theory, we could hit the handhelds, right? Like you do the Wind Waker spin-offs and the Spirit Tracks or the Phantom Hourglass. We could do the like Between Worlds. That's a pretty good one. That could be like a couple shows. Link Between Worlds. That'd be fun. And then you're on to like Skyward Sword. I'm looking forward less to Skyward Sword. But this one specifically, I think kind of maybe still has a magic. There's magic to this game that I think was lost for a little while, right? Potentially from Ocarina of Time, or Link to the Past, was recognized as a pretty big experience. I think Ocarina of Time blew up as one of the biggest games ever. It's still considered one of the greatest games ever. You still hear that. I mean, it's 27 years old. That's pretty impressive, right? First attempt into kind of this 3D adventure world via Nintendo. So it kind of just always had the magic, right? The Majora's Mask, you could kind of talk yourself into it. Oh boy, did I try and convince you guys that it was so Wind Waker was like an amazing experience. But again, this, in my mind, at least kind of growing up, like being a 90s kid, this seems like it was kind of the last. Well, it was still kind of off the heels, off the dust, off that kind of the trail that Ocarina still laid on the ground, right? So my hope is by doing this series, we can kind of peel back the curtain and just take a look at this game, right? And see kind of what went right, maybe what goes wrong in the future when you look at other titles. Because I think after this, their next mainline title is Skyward Sword. I don't think Skyward Sword's very good.
Yeah, I feel like that's right around the time where motion controls were just ruining all good games. So.
No, but it's not so much the motion controls. I like the motion controls. I think the motion controls are awesome. People that say, I like the controls, I agree. I think the mechanic is done well. It's like the way they art looks, the story, the challenges, what they want you to do with the motion controls. It's the level, like it's all those things. Everything looks kind of gross and ugly for no reason. Okay. The fight against the imprisoned. It's like this big slug monster, and you just have to hit his toes, and it's the same thing. Oh, and then you do it again later. Oh, you do it again later. And I think you might even do it another time. And I'm like, no. No. But I do think this is one of the last bastions of kind of greatness from this series. Now, with that being said, there wasn't anything after Skyward Sword until Breath of the Wild, right? And why I say Skyward Sword is probably a failure is look at what Breath of the Wild looks like, right? If Skyward Sword was, we want to, you see the, collect the 3 things, go fight Ganon, where's the Master Sword? If that was just the formula, I think Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild would have just been like a linear narrative adventure. The fact that we didn't see that, I think you kind of see that maybe Skyward Sword was not what they were looking for, right?
Yeah, I could see that. I know Skyward Sword just kind of does nothing for me.
Oh,
so
that's what I'm saying too. I'm like, I except the controls. Like, if you gave it a chance, like there are some cool mechanics where like enemies like flip shields and flip swords, and you kind of have to like swipe interestingly. And I'm like, cool. That's actually better gameplay than say Ocarinas of Time. Just like hold your shield and wait. Right, in those in-between times, if you could swipe a certain way, that's the only credit I'll give that game. Other than that, it's a dumpster fire. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about maybe a good game.
I always thought so.
Yeah, interesting. I'm curious to see, because this did make your GameCube top list, right? It didn't make my list, just because there's some things about this game that bug me. Probably won't talk about it so much today, but at some point we'll get to the end and I'll just be like, it's there. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but it is kind of fun. It is like, I played it multiple times, right? Wolf Link is kind of a big part of this game, and yeah. So I think without further ado, do you want to get into this show, or do you want to hear what the outline is? Because we're doing a 5-part series. Well, you want to hear about the outline?
Let's do an outline. It's the first one of the series. So
okay.
Yeah, let's see the outline.
Quick primer. So today we are in part 1, which is our introduction. That means we're going to do some boring things like, according to this, we're supposed to do Wayback Machine. I didn't do that, so maybe we'll do that next show. Oops. Or maybe it's just because I was trying to break stuff up. Anyways, so we're going to get some development details today, and that's about it. Maybe some first memories. So really just an introduction to the series, to the game. Spoilers, we are going to assume that you have played the game, you know the twists, we can talk about whatever we want, that you've been warned. I don't think I've ever given a spoiler before. I just assume if you're listening to a podcast on an old video game, that you're not like, man, I know who Spyro the Dragon ends. What's the point of playing it? Sorry.
Yeah, especially with that game. It's so deep in its lore.
So yeah, you're like, what? All the dragons were crystals? Yes, they were. In part 2, we will be looking at actual gameplay. So the start of the game up until where you get to the Master Sword, which is about halfway through the game. So we'll kind of be looking at a lot of the gameplay. Each one comes with a cultural significance. I will leave that as a hint, and we will talk about something, but I'm not going to ruin that. Part 3, I think we'll basically be playing the middle chunk of the game. So we're going to be kind of playing from right after you get the Master Sword. So you'll play the first 3 dungeons. It's like the forest, the fire, and then the lake bed temple. And the next one we play the Arbiter's Grounds. I'm doing this off the top of my head, by the way. The City in the Sky. I think we do something with snow people, maybe. And where's the other shard of the mirror? I don't know. Anyways, so maybe Death Mountain again? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's another fire one. Anyways, so that's kind of the third part. Am I selling this show? Are you excited to listen now, Tyson?
I mean, I'm excited. I have not played Twilight Princess since I owned my GameCube.
Okay, so gun to your head, you couldn't just pull the 4 dungeons off of your dome. Okay, cool. Part 4, we're going to be kind of basically done at that point, right? We're going to be pretty close to the end game by part 3. So part 4, we're going to be looking at just side quests. And then I believe in part 5, we kind of wrap everything up. I say the Wii U HD edition. We kind of talk about that a little bit today, so I don't know if we'll get to that. But it'll basically be the end of the game. And then just kind of maybe a big overarching discussion of the series in general. So that's kind of what we're doing is today intro, part 1, part 2 is second half of the game. Then we'll do kind of wrap up with some side quests and finish with a conclusion. Wow, look at that. It's like you guys are milking it or something. I feel like we did such a really nice job of segmenting Ocarina of Time. It was just done so well, we got to do like little character studies and talk about the little themes. These other games just aren't broken up that well. They never thought about podcasts when they made these games.
or Ocarina of Time's like a masterpiece, and it's hard to
Yeah.
top it.
Yeah. Like, it is one of those, you're like, yeah, I feel like I know so much more about Saria and Darunia than anyone else in any of the series. I'm like, yeah, and they say 4 words. It's weird. Anyways.
Yeah, it's also just like this the way the story's broken up
Yeah.
with like the first 3 dungeons as a kid, and then you become an adult.
And then they kind of like
there's just,
reflect.
like-
Yeah. It was just like, anyways, it's trying to like do it for this. I was like, there are really no clean points, but also the story kind of jumps around. So, it's fine. We'll just do first 3 pendants, the last couple. So the game is the Twilight of Princess from The Legend of Zelda. It was developed by Nintendo EAD. It sold 8.85 to about 9 million copies, and 7.26 of those were the Wii edition. So only about less than 2 million sales on the GameCube. We'll talk about that. That's not like, oh, the GameCube sucks. It's just sometimes when you release at the end of a cycle. Well, that's how it goes. How long to beat has this game? At 30 to 40 hours. eBay, if you want a GameCube version, you're going to spend over $200 for this game. You want an HD Wii U version of this game? Again, you're spending probably over $200. Why? Because Nintendo was like gatekeepy with this game for some reason. They have Switch 2, GameCube, and they're like, do you like Soul Calibur 2? It's like, if you buy Switch 2 and you spend $100 on this online subscription, maybe we'll let you play a non-HD version of Twilight Princess. Like, give me something. Just that and Smash? And I'd be like, I can justify spending $1,000 on this Nintendo. It's okay, but you give me nothing, and I'm like, I don't know if I can justify spending $1,000 on this Nintendo. Oh boy! So where to play? You have to either get an original disc, copy on your Wii, play and a working Wii, or I guess a Wii U, play it there, or an emulator. So, and when Nintendo's kind of stingy with this, and like we know they can do it. They did No, actually they didn't release. They released Wind Waker on the GameCube, not the HD, even though we know it's sitting there on the Wii U. But we got Skyward Sword on the Switch, so that's pretty exciting.
Oh yes. I'm so happy that game got re-released.
It's just crazy how when they released the Wind Waker on the Wii U, it was a big deal, and like this game we'll talk about was a really big deal. They included amiibos, right? Like, oh man, you got to get your Wolf Link amiibo, whoo baby. And then Skyward Sword comes out on the Switch, and it was like a blip. It was like a fart. Somebody farted in like that summer, and all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, hey, it's September. Oh, neat." Oh, just nothing. Just like.
I think it's also because it's like Skyward Sword is probably the weakest of the mainline games.
And then like you're trying. I think the issue was it's motion controls, and they tried to map it to a button, and it just didn't work very well. And they're kind of just like stuck being like, "We don't know what to do with this game," right?
Yeah, well, it's.
Hey, I thought this was a Twilight Princess
Nintendo
podcast.
Just like
not Skyward Sword sucks.
All that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. From there, development details. That's it. We're just gonna read a bunch of stuff, and that's kind of the whole podcast. So maybe that's why we're taking our time. Again, introduction. Be okay. Let's see. So development details. So Nintendo was aware of its declining sales numbers based on its cute cartoon art style of the Wind Waker. They began work on Wind Waker 2 in 2003, but a desire to increase sales, make a more mature style, and focus on horseback combat led the team to work on a new direction. So, I guess could just hint on that there was some type of discourse. Obviously, we saw it. We talked about it in Wind Waker. People didn't like it because it was a cartoon baby game for babies.
Yeah. Well, in hindsight, that was everybody's gut reaction because they showed us a tech demo of like, wow, this is what it could look like. Okay, and here's your cel-shaded Zelda. Are you happy?
Well, it did seem like, there was like this obsession, this fascination with better graphics. Make the graphics better. We need better graphics. All the graphics have to be better. And it was like this slow crawl to where we are kind of today in like a very elite big game. You go and there's like the grass textures are 100% and the hair textures are all real, but ultimately the game's kind of boring and hollow, and after a few hours you're like, oh, it's Like, is it that much better than Skyrim? You know, not really. I kind of even felt like Fallout 3 kind of did it similar, right? Like, they kind of have it dialed in back then. That we've slowly for 20 years tried to make our games look better, which maybe wasn't the best focus. Maybe we could have done more, like, interesting things.
Well, the interesting thing is, like, the cel-shaded graphics still look good.
Yeah.
Whereas games from that generation that were trying to push, like, graphics look like crap.
I mean, literally, pull the Band-Aid off. One of the reasons why I maybe don't like Twilight Princess, I think it looks terrible. I think the models of everyone are ugly. The children that you have to save, when they get stolen, I'm like, great. I hate them. I hate the little faces so much. They're so ugly. They make terrible sounds. Oh, everyone is just so gross and ugly in this game. I'm like, why would you want to play this?
Yeah, they're definitely trying to, like, go for something. I mean, I don't mind, like, Zelda's and Link's.
Honestly, Zelda, Link, Ganon,
models.
Character models look absolutely gorgeous. The problem was they're like, let's make everyone else, I don't know, like, I guess.
I mean, it's not as bad as the ugly kid with, like, the snot bubble.
But that was cute. I don't know. I thought the snot, because it was so, like, over the top, you're like, interesting. Like, versus the little kids in this game, I hate them. I can't stand them. But I guess I was gonna say, it's kind of like, you know, in our world, like, all the celebrities are hot. Maybe it's like this game, like the celebrities, the Link, the Zeldas, the Ganons, you know, everyone you read about, they're all the hot people in the world, and everyone else is just kind of like basic to ugly looking. Even like,
could be.
Even his hot friend, right? Ilya, like, compared to Zelda, is kind of like, eh. But, like, in the town, she's pretty good. So it's just kind of like maybe real life. Well, now that we've lost the majority of our audience due to our comments about attractiveness. I don't even know what that is. Is that chauvinist?
Sure, why not?
Okay, cool.
Chauvinist opinions.
Let's just move on. But that's fine. If you like the ugly babies, then that's on you. You and your god. Just as the OG Zelda was inspired by the Lord of the Rings books, this game's visuals was inspired by the Lord of the Rings movies. The two separate world ideas from Link to the Past and Oracle of Ages inspired this game, and they wanted to reuse the motif. It was suggested that Link transform into a wolf, much like he metamorphosizes into a rabbit in Dark World. From A Link to the Past. The concept for Link to transform into a wolf and his surrounding native environments came from a dream Anuma had while on an overseas business trip. He tripped that he was a wolf, locked in a cage, and when he woke up, he was confused and disoriented, and it took him for a while to remember that he wasn't a wolf.
Oh my god, that's so dumb.
Yeah. I like that. I was like reading that. I was like, I'm including this comment because I think this is stupid.
Oh yes. The standard. Oh, I had a dream, so now I'm a wolf.
Although, so
okay.
Unrelated, but we're gonna just sidetrack here. I read this thing, and I don't know if it was just a joke, but it was somebody once gave me hiccup advice that if you ever have the hiccups, just remind yourself that you're not a fish, and you stop having hiccups. And his response was, "Can someone explain to me how does this work?" And the first comment was like, "What do you mean? Remind yourself you're not a fish?" And he says, I just say, "Hey, you're not a fish," and I stop having hiccups. He's like, "I don't understand it." So next time, if you ever have hiccups, just remind yourself you're not a fish. See if it helps.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. It's like, just remember yourself that you're not an orange. Like, what is happening in your brain?
Well, that's the thing. Like, but if that works, yeah, like you'd be like, what physiological thing of checking in? Hey, by the way, you're not a fish. You've moved on.
I think that's just your brain being like, what the fuck dumb thought did you just have in your head? Like, please shut up.
Yeah, maybe.
And your brain is so baffled at the dumbness that is percolating in your brain that you're like, no, I'm going to kill a few brain cells. Go screw yourself.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, remember, you're not a fish. Originally, Link was planned to be a wolf from the start, but to bluntly contrast the Ocarina of Time formula, but this was changed so that new players could easily ease into the Zelda series, traditional gameplay, and narrative formula. The narrative premise in this game regarding the children of Orden Village being kidnapped was an example of the darker story elements.
Well, if it's mixed opinion, he says good.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, again, just horrible, horrible children. But they never go back. Like, that's the thing. They get kidnapped, and it's a big deal, and they just, like, live in Kakariko Village and start a shop. Like, that's the rest of the lore. So I'm like, I feel like they probably would have been okay, right? Like, they don't need the parents.
Are the Moblins really the bad guys?
Yeah, I think they just transportation. What's the other part? I agree. Yeah, I think starting this game, cool. Starting off as Wolf Link or something like that. You know, like you start out at the springs, and then you walk up to this like dark pyramid, and you get pulled inside, and you're like, "What is happening?" Would be kind of cool. Could they pull it off? Maybe.
Did they pull it off? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, everybody.
Did they pull it off? As opposed to, so I played through like basically the beginning of the game. I'm at the time of recording this, about in like the first dark area, I'm like collecting the tears or something like that. So I think it's fine. In fact, I like Wolf Link mechanics. I think it's fine, right? Like we can get more into it when we talk about kind of gameplay and like actual features, and maybe there's things I don't like so much, but I don't know. In terms of just like a secondary mechanic for Link, it's fine. It's not a boat. You turn into a dog. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, there's not some janky, like, draw with the stylus on the screen and make some stupid train tracks.
I mean...
Because that would be a terrible idea.
I was going to say, it is like how do you make... It's a transformation trope. Like, it's the werewolf. So maybe that's something we should look at, something like the transformation tropes. And maybe that's some type of key thing I should write down for the last one.
Is this the spiritual successor to Majora's Mask? You know what I mean?
I think literally it is. Yeah. Oh, because you transform in that game. Yeah, I see what you did. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Smart. Something about a business trip. Oh, no, we did that. The Twilight Realm portions were inspired by the fact that prior Zelda games always had distinctively separate dungeons from the overworld. The team wondered what the results would be if a traditional Zelda dungeon was placed inside the open world instead. This results in the hunt of tiers of lights that players partake in when the twilight covered the world. Oh, okay.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. I guess you just made everything kind of dark and you're a wolf. It never feels that connected. Well, man, we'll talk about it when we get there. Working on The Phantom Hourglass as a true sequel to The Wind Waker, let the team focus on using touch controls. Since Twilight Princess didn't have any advancements in controls, they shifted the project back to enable the development of motion controls and the Wiimote. God damn it, Phantom Hourglass. Why?
Yeah.
You know what game sucks? The Phantom Hourglass. It's not good. It's painful. It's just like, just let me run around with not the motion controls. It's not cute. So the fact that they were like, hey, yo, I know you're almost done this game, but what if we like shifted development back a whole year and we also put this game on the Wii? Now, I mean, ultimately that was good in this game. It's beloved by many people, and, you know, like millions of people saw it because it was a very popular game, or the system, the Wii. Nintendo didn't know that, though. There was a gamble. Almost didn't pay off. For motion controls. Cool.
Yeah, we're going into a dark era of motion controls, and that's probably going to be my biggest complaints for a lot of these games, because I despise motion controls.
Yeah. I mean, the coolest version of motion controls probably is like playing 1-2 Switch, if you've ever played those games on your Switch, because they have like super advanced rumble features in these controllers now, and they have a game where it's called like how many balls are in the box, and you have to sit there and you can like roll the controller, and it feels like there's like little metal balls rolling around the box, and you can kind of like, you have to try and count it. It's incredible. that.
I'm glad you can find enjoyment out of that.
No.
To me, that sounds like the biggest trash ever. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
no, I don't care.
Yeah, but like you read it, I don't know, like if you're just being an asshole. But like I'm saying, here's a game that they spend $60 on, and for one cool little feature, I'm like, hey, you know what? That's kind of neat. But like that you know what I mean? Like in a $60 experience, you should get a lot more than one little like neat. It's just like, hey, cool. Why would you ever need that?
Again, it's one of those things where it's like, if that's the best that they can do with like motion controls.
No, it's the monkey.
I asked the question. Why?
It's like the Super Monkey Ball. Like Super Monkey Ball works on the Wii because it's just kind of like a balancing act of the remote, and you're like, oh, great. Really? Super Monkey Ball was like the optimal, and like, oh, how many Super Monkey Balls are in the box? That's it. That's why you wrecked Twilight Princess. That's why you altered the development and forced it to go back a year. That kind of also hurt sales, right? Get it to it, because I definitely lost my GameCube in that year that it was probably waiting. So let's see. Aonuma had anticipated creating a Zelda game for what would later be the Wii, but had assumed that he would need to complete Twilight Princess first. He began working a point-based, developing a point-based interface for the bow and arrow, and Aonuma found that aiming directly at the screen created a new feeling, just like the DS control scheme for Phantom Hourglass. But at least transferring GameCube development to the Wii was relatively simple, since the Wii was being created to be compatible with GameCube software. Oh, cool. What's this next one? Oh, yeah. Any points there? You're good? Move on?
No. It's very interesting that, like, because the GameCube and the Wii came out at that same time, like, it was very, like, well, you bought the new system. You might as well buy the new game for it. Yeah. And I know a lot of people that did that and then just plugged in their GameCube controller.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, I mean, you could do that, right? Because you could in the Wii, you could just throw in the GameCube. You had the little tabs on the top, and you plug in your GameCube and just kind of keep rolling. And it did seem kind of that natural evolution of, we have the GameCube, you have all the tech, it plays all the games, just transfer it over, and you get a couple motion control games on top of it, right? So, probably is what they ultimately should have done, was keep creating just regular games for their system, and then like a couple motion controls instead of everything trying to be like Wii Sports. No, you did it. Wii Sports. Wii Sports is the best thing. And then the box game. And then Link's crossbow training. And other than that, everything's terrible. So just keep to those things and stop making me do dance party dance games.
Yes. Waggle that remote, idiot.
Although on the
generation.
What's the Xbox Connect one that had like the camera and it would like watch you and stuff like that? And that one was kind of cool. But again,
yeah, I don't know. One of those things where I'm like, all these motion. This was a dark period for all good things.
The coolest part of the Kinect's motion controls was in Paranormal Activity 4 or 5. They have one set up in the living room, and at one point they have an effect where like it shows all the dots. They have a camera that shows all the dots, and it like shows the outline of a kid standing in the room. You're like, whoa, scary. Whoa. Again, you're gonna be like, how did you find enjoyment in the Kinects? The Kinects is terrible. It sucks. But in one movie,
funny thing is, like, yes, it's kind of become like a running joke. Interestingly enough, like the tech in it's actually kind of cool. So a lot of healthcare and medical devices essentially just bought it en masse and started applying it to like little surgeries or whatever. And you're like, well, that's cool. Like this thing made for gamers ended up being way more useful in another field. If only we actually put innovation where it needed to be, instead of just repurposing essentially what was video game trash.
Two more points. A couple more points, and then we're look at that, another page. Let's see. In 2005, rumors started that the new Zelda game could use motion controls from the new system, the Revolution. And in order to change Link's handedness, they opted to flip the map between the Wii and the GameCube version. This was an easier option than creating a new model for Link in the Wii version. Big contrast, very big contrast. The first time, well, I played this game on the GameCube when it first came out, and then I played it on the Wii, and it was considerably different. And it's weird that everything is like, every turn you make is wrong. And it definitely was a weird, uncanny experience the first time I did that. Like, did the GameCube to Wii version.
Yeah, it's weird that you couldn't just tweak the model.
Just put it in his other.
But I guess you would have to redo all the animations and everything. But
again,
I guess it is easier, just like
mirror
filter.
Clip. Yeah,
done.
Yeah. The original demo.
Well, that saved us several millions.
That's the thing. Like, but you're right. You would think it would just be to change the model. How hard could that be? But then you start thinking, oh yeah, I guess you have to like redo this and probably need another model versus literally just mirror mode. Oh, done. Okay. The original demo was considered too difficult with the control scheme. This led to the team to stop forcing users to adapt and make the system more intuitive. Oh, okay.
Intuitive. Yeah.
Intuitive. Yeah, I gave up on that word.
Yeah. It's, if only they took this point and they just remembered to not force terrible controls on people and ruin an entire generation worth of games. But nope. Gotta really shove motion controls down our throats. And every time we talk about the Wii, I'm gonna complain about this because I despise that system. I've owned it. I owned it for a day. I think it was a day. I opened it, was like, oh, this is super exciting. Plugged it in, messed around with it. Was like, this sucks. Took it back to the store and was like, it's broken.
Maybe you need to work on your like how high are your expectations that you're just like so disappointed too. Because you said that for like, what was it, 28 years later? You're like, oh, I was so excited. I've been this excited for a movie, and then it was terrible. And I'm like, is it terrible, or are you just
Baldur's Gate?
But like, you get let down so much. You're like, the chasm is so great that you're like, I hate it, right? So,
I just think once I despise something, I just bloody despise it.
Because like, well, I mean, I guess it was lots of money. So if you got enough money for it back in the day too, because early on, Wii's were like, you could flip them, right? You could buy one, use it, probably sell it for like $100 more.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like anything, is if you spend your hard-earned money on something and it utterly sucks, because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. One person's going to think it's awesome, another person's going to hate it. If you spend any of your money, like let's say you got a favorite restaurant and you're like, oh, this is my favorite thing here. And then you take another friend here and they're like, oh, okay, order this. It's awesome. And they just like don't like it. Like they're entitled to be like, wow, that sucked.
Yeah. No, it's fair.
So,
yeah. It's just more of a, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting to recognize those things. And you're like, oh yeah, I do that. Huh. Yeah, fascinating. Huh.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
I definitely
does
have
happen.
a reaction of like,
yeah, like a Mary Brown's chicken. You ever had Mary Brown's chicken before? I hear it's the best. I hear it's the greatest. It's awesome. I got like a 6-pack or something, and I was eating it. I was like, this chicken is terrible. But yeah. I was expecting so much more because it was like hyped as like, oh, it's like really good. And it was like, I was like, this is like, I haven't gone back. I have no interest in going back. But I'm like, is it my expectations versus reality, right? So,
I think it's like anything. We all have our own different preferences and likes and dislikes. And I'm a firm believer in try it. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it again.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, it's good to try Mary Brown's chicken because you're like, oh, maybe I've heard good things. You try it and go, this isn't for me. Then you just live and learn.
Yeah.
Like, there's no malice. It's just like, okay, I just don't want to go have that chicken again.
The Wayback Machine is in episode 2. Hooray! I was kind of like, we keep talking about this time, but I just don't know anything about 2005. If only I knew more. But next month, in 4 weeks, we'll know. Technical vulnerabilities. Following the discovery of a buffer overflow vulnerability in the Wii version of Twilight Princess, an exploit known as the Twilight hack was developed, allowing the execution of custom code from a secure digital SD card on the console. A specifically designed save file would cause the game to load unassigned code, which would include executable and linkable format ELF programs and homebrew Wii applications.
Oh, yes. Yes, the good old-fashioned way to
So like,
hack a system by just using a certain game.
okay, so I make fun of the PC master race all the time. At least they're not pansies about it, guys. Like, they release games on the PC and they're like, yeah, it's open source, whatever, fuck around, who cares? It's fine. You still paid me for it. Whereas these guys are like, oh my gosh, guys, if you put a memory card in our, you can change, you could put a cheat in our Nintendo game. Frick off, Nintendo.
Yes.
Freaking cowards.
Yeah, they tend to be.
Ugh.
Yeah, they tend to be really, really upset about that stuff.
And like little things, and they go after people. Like there's a part of me that I'm like, the Podtendo podcast, if it ever disappears, it might just be because we got a cease and assist letter from Nintendo, and I'd be like, I've accomplished what I wanted with the show. Peace out.
Yeah.
I mean, or I could just be like, okay, I'll just stop using your songs, I guess, in my podcast. But that's
either that or we'd come like a.
No, I own other games.
I can't think of a PlayStation Xbox pun on podcasting. So.
No, Podtendo was just the greatest one. So I made this podcast. I came out with it. I was like, it's too genius not to use it. Okay. Twilight Princess HD. So the final points here, and we'll talk about our first experiences with this game. And I don't know Tyson's first experiences, so I'm kind of curious to see what he has to say. A high-definition remaster, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, was developed by Tantalus Media for the Wii U, announced during a Nintendo Direct presentation on November 13th, 2015. The game features enhanced graphics and amiibo functionality. It was released worldwide in March 2016. Smartly purchased by a very handsome podcaster, probably in 2016-17 when it was on sale for like $40 on Amazon. I only bought one, though. And then a couple years ago, I sold it for like $250. The only problem is now I just really want to play the HD version and have my Link amiibo, and it's going to cost me $260. So somehow I lost on the deal. Son of a gun. The idea of a high-definition version of the Twilight Princess was first originated during the production of Breath of the Wild. Nintendo's experimented with the HD version of Twilight Princess running on Wii U development kit when trying to settle on graphical style for the new game. This ultimately led to the production of the Wind Waker HD, whose success encouraged the team to pursue other high-definition remasters. And its release, which was developed internally at Nintendo in only 6 months, the Nintendo team settled on an HD remaster of Twilight Princess. At the time, most of the Zelda team was preoccupied with Breath of the Wild, so Nintendo sought a partnership with an external development studio, the Australian-based Tantalus Media, to work on Twilight Princess HD. The team added faster swimming mechanics and easier tier vessel collecting, which was praised by the OG team. The HD remake also allows you to access the 100-floor cave ordeal section, where you can use amiibos to help Link explore the trial.
Nice.
I can't imagine you probably loved your Wii U experience of Twilight Princess that much, so I didn't think you probably had a lot to input. So I kind of sped read that, if that's okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I remember owning a Wii U. That's about it. I couldn't tell you a single game I had on that system.
Zombie U.
Nope.
Oh. Well, I don't know what you had on it then. So that is that. No, a couple neat points in there too, right? They kind of had mentioned, we had talked about the success of Wind Waker HD. I remember coming out and it being pretty successful, right? Like, it was something to buy. This game, when it came out in HD release, again, a couple months later, you don't often see Zelda or Nintendo games anyways on sale, right? Like, if you're at some reason are on like Amazon or in Walmart, and like Pokemon games for $40, I'd be like, really? I'll take a couple of them, because like normally those are always $80, even years later, and then they just get more expensive, right? Like, there's like this weird inflation on this like Pokemon games. I guess we're just more expensive now, Sword and Shield. So it was one of those rare, kind of felt like a miss, right, with this game. So I wonder if that did. I don't know. Maybe they just like look and they're like, people didn't like Twilight Princess HD. Clearly it was the game's fault and not our crappy system or our toys that you also had to buy to play on our system. Remember that? Remember when you had to buy toys to play your video games? On PCs, you just buy your PC, then Steam has sales, you just have everything. You download it. With Nintendo, you have to buy toys to play your game. The toys are rare too, by the way, so there's going to be an aftermarket for them.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's I have slowly been transitioning to a PC only gaming experience specifically for these reasons.
Well, I mean, honestly though, I think you're kind of slightly seeing Xbox. I would say is dead. Um,
I
Place,
think they all are.
yeah, like PlayStation's chilling.
What's there out there?
Although yeah, like outside, I would say that I love the performance on the PlayStation. Like I turn on the game and the game just starts and I go and I'm like, oh my gosh, like the functionality of it is maybe the only praise I will ultimately give it. But yeah, like the Switch 2's come out. Have you beat Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong, and Metroid Prime 4 yet? We don't have any other games coming out.
I haven't.
So.
I haven't turned it on.
Oh.
In months.
Oh. Well then.
Because I'm like, this is why did I waste money on this console?
Yeah. So again,
same thing with my other consoles. To be honest, I'm looking at like a Steam PC being like, or the Steam box should have been called the Gabe Cube, but that's probably gonna be my next console, and I'm probably just gonna slowly start getting rid of my other ones because I don't see the point in having them.
Solid. That's solid. But obviously this game, Twilight Princess, is so terrible that it tanked the Wii U and its sales, and it had terrible sales, and it's all your fault for not buying toys. So shame on you, public, for wrecking these nice things that Nintendo made for they put hard work into this game. Wolf Link is beautiful. First memories of this game. Let's see. So I recall this game coming out, but I don't think I had a working GameCube at the time. I had one in like 2005 or 6, and it just stopped working. I went to university, and it just was like died. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Wanted to play this game, but when it was released, like the brand new Wii, like I'm not buying that. I'm not getting another GameCube, right? Like I don't have just $400 to drop on video games. Oh, I guess I just don't play this game. Eventually, I think you got a GameCube when you had it. Either you had a copy of Twilight Princess, or I went and bought a copy and like played it on your GameCube.
Yeah, I can't remember because I know the story is that one of the many Xbox 360s that I had, and I had that warranty on it, and it red ringed on me because I literally I exchanged it, got a new one, came home, turned it on, all good, cool, turned it off. The next week or weekend, I went on a volleyball tournament, came back, and it just red ringed on me. And I was like, fuck this. So I boxed all my shit up because this was number 7 of having to use that warranty because Xbox 360s were absolute garbage. I took all my stuff in and I just went and bought a bunch of GameCube games. And I think this might have been in there. But I feel like the story is you bought Twilight Princess because I went with my girlfriend at the time, and I was just like, do you like this game? Cool, we'll get that game. Do you like this game? Cool, we'll just get this game. Because I feel like I was going through a big, like, not gamery moment. There wasn't anything that was, like, really grabbing my attention that I'm like, I need to play this. It was like, I'm good. I'll play some party games and drink with some friends. So I feel like I played this only as an emulation way later. That's my first memories. I don't remember playing this on the hardware ever. So,
okay, interesting. Yeah, so I had that experience. You didn't. So we think we're there. So then with the wide release of the Wii and the easy access to the Wii version, right? At one point, I don't know if I have a best seller, whatever it's called, but we did have like best selling kind of games, and I know that this was like at one point like it has been Walmart for $20, and I was like, man, it's crazy that a mainline Zelda game is only $20. Like even back in the day, I'd like didn't obviously want 20 copies of this game, and it seems like kind of maybe silly to spend $400 on that, but if I only did it now, I'd have like $410. Oh geez, I do recall liking Midna, Wolf Link, and certain elements of this game, right? But like I said, but some of the art style, boring overworld, gross-looking people and creatures just kind of don't make me want to return to this experience. I'm like, oh, the gross-looking Yeti people that I have to hang out with for like half an hour. Why? right? Oh, my ugly wife is sick. And I'm like, you terrible Yeti, can we kill you? Why can't I kill this guy? I hate him. I would look at it as almost as good as like Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker in my mind, but it just never seemed to, it didn't live up to the hype. It didn't hit those kind of my high expectations. I would play it maybe once or twice on the Wii, probably played it more after the release of Skyward Sword. It's funny that I just don't like that sword. Huh? But now looking back, other than the obscene price tag, I don't know if I missed anything, although I would rather play this on the GameCube with a controller than use the Wii motion controls. Although they work pretty well, because when there's motion controls, you just kind of like move your hand slightly left and right, and that's how you swing your sword. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if I did play this, it was with that terrible motion controls, and I was like, bah, garbage. Get out of here. Give me a GameCube controller, then I might have tracked down one, and then it was all right. Because I feel like I played like the first chunk of this game. But once you kind of get to the Dark World, my memory is just like vague.
Cool.
I can't remember anything past that.
Well, that's like a cool experience, right? So in theory, hopefully you're noting the things you notice or don't notice or forgot to recall, or like, oh, that's fun, right? Whereas I'm going to be like, I know that this happened. I could probably tell you the story at least 75% of the way through, right? Like, oh, then this happens, then this happens. And remember that character, the bird you saw at the beginning of the game, he flies by, and you're like, God damn your brain. Yeah, anyway, so that's kind of just my first memory. So it's been with me before. I played it. I never opened up my game or my Wii U version. I ended up selling that off. But yeah, no, probably a couple times through anyways. So hopefully I'm looking forward to this playthrough for sure. Like I said, kind of getting into it, and I'm playing on a GameCube version because it's just nicer with the controls. Yeah, cleaner. My poor wrist.
Yeah,
my poor wrist
wish
couldn't
that
handle
this
all the
was
little flicking. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just wish that this was available on Switch. Like, if or on Switch 2. I just
Now,
give us these games. What's the point of having a game?
It is January 2026. Is there a chance that... Because remember we did the Wind Waker? And then it was announced officially from Nintendo that Wind Waker HD was coming to the Switch. And then it just never came. Like, they just, like, deleted the project. It's weird. So, I wouldn't be surprised sometime in the future if we get some, like, indication that Twilight Princess was coming. And then maybe never comes. But it'll be like... It'll drop, like, 6 months after this podcast is done. I'm like, really?
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Nintendo doesn't want us to get that popular.
Is the weirdest, weirdest like game company where they're like, we're not going to release these old games that people want because we have to we might want to release them later.
Yeah, Anyways, let's see, cultural significance. Yeah, let's do that. Get out of here.
Sure, let's do it.
And then we can actually get into playing games, as opposed to this point where it's like talking about playing a game. Cultural significance. So this one, we're looking at Nintendo's Dark Zelda era, a response to fan expectations. So after the Wind Waker's mixed reception, fans wanted a grown-up Zelda. Twilight Princess became Nintendo's reaction to its fan base, a rare moment where fans directly shaped the tone, art style, and marketing of a major Nintendo franchise. Represents the industry's mid-2000s shift towards mature-looking games from God of War, Gears of War, Halo 3 era, and acts as an artifact of a console generation obsessed with realism, even for a company not known for it. I kind of feel like we indirectly talked about all those points.
I feel like...
Right?
Yeah.
Because we talked about like Wind Waker, and we're like, oh, because it's a dumb, stupid game for babies because it looks like a baby and these cartoons and babies cartoons. And so we're like, okay, guess you got to make the babies ugly now. That's what we don't want cute babies. We want ugly babies. Oh, he did it. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Right. And then we talked about that was like a fan response, right? We wrecked the Wii U because we didn't buy the game. They would have made better games and we would have bought games, but we didn't buy Twilight Princess HD, and that's what wrecked the Wii U. So.
You're right. Not enough people bought those terrible, crappy Wii U games, so we didn't get good games.
Well, and probably same with this on the Wii. Like, if they would have put more copies, like I only got 7 million. If we would have sold like 57 million, they'd have been like, oh, this is huge, right? So thanks a lot, gamers. man, wrecking
Yeah,
all this
yeah.
stuff.
How dare we speak with our wallets and not want to give big corporations
Boo! Shell out,
money?
cowards.
Who just open your wallet and link it to your account and just pre-order every game.
Hi, this is Nintendo
Idiots.
America calling. Give me your money now! Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'm coming. I'm sorry. Let's see. Represents the mid-shift in the 2000s. I kind of feel like we talked about that a little bit, and literally I did a diatribe from for 20 years. We've been slowly shifting to make hair look a little bit nicer. Every time. A couple more blades get there. And then acts as an artifact.
I still remember when the Witcher came out and we're like, this has hair physics X or whatever. It's like, look, individual strands of hair moving.
Yeah.
And people are like, whoa, I need a new graphics card.
Yeah.
And I was one of those people, so
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and like, it's absolutely just crazy and insane, and yeah. It shouldn't
Good
matter.
times.
Sometimes
Good times.
and like some of the games you fall in love with and play, like they're probably the ugliest looking games. What was I was playing Blueprints that came out last year. Haven't played that. I was telling my wife about it, and like talking to her about it, and she's like, "That's a new game. It looks old because it's like kind of rough and cell shaded." I'm like, yeah, but I think it's just like a vibe. I think that's what they're going for. They're like, wow, we could make grass physics, or we could just give you a Mario clump of grass in the middle of a green field, and you're like, oh, it's grass. Oh.
one of my favorite games recently is the Duck Detective series.
Sure.
And it's literally just like cut out
Yeah.
Paper Mario sprites walking around talking. That's the entire game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, delightful. I love this game.
It's just funny. It's just,
I'll buy it again.
oh well. Again, we criticized everyone from the PC master race to the console simps and everyone in between. So, but pretty excited.
Hey, well, I lump myself into almost all those categories.
Oh yeah, and me.
I own all the consoles and I built my own PC. So
I stand by what I said. So I think we'll get out of here today. Again, we'll be back with a real game, a numbered show, 2 weeks, and then two weeks from there we'll be doing part 1, part 2. So if you're playing along and you haven't played Twilight Princess and you're like, I could play Twilight Princess, get the Master Sword. You got a month to get the Master Sword. So I will join you guys then, and we can discuss our fun adventure and go from there and say bye and go from there. Bye.
yeah, have a great one.
Bye.